If in the future I want to be an astronaut, I requirements. Astronaut requirements: be a U.S. citizen. Within decades of humans could be leaving their footprint on Mars, but that NASA's Artemis program will land first woman to the woman on the moon by 2024. The Orion spacecraft atop the Space Launch System rocket will carry humans further into space that they will have gone before for mission to the moon and eventually to Mars. As NASA continues to expand human exploration in our solar system, we will need more than the current active astronauts to crew spacecraft bound for multiple deep space destinations. NASA astronauts currently have as scientists on the International Spaceships, a laboratory that orbits Earth experimentally 240 miles above the planet's surface. Astronauts on the situation conduct specific experiments such as innovative cancer research and research on the human body and living in space. The agency's commercial partners are beginning to transport cargo from the Earth to the space station. They will soon be launching astronauts to the station as well. New astronauts will crew those missions and support the specific research on stations. A very brief history of astronaut selection. The military selected the first astronauts in 1959. The astronauts were military personnel who had experience flying jet aircraft and backgrounds in engineering. They've had shorter than 5 feet of 11 inches to fit the Mercury spacecraft. In addition to the engineering expertise, space exploration requires specific knowledge and the ability to apply it. So in the 1964, NASA began researching for scientists to be astronauts. Back then, one qualification for the astronauts was doctorate in medicine, engineering, or natural science, such as physics, chemistry, or biology. This is coming from the NASA websites. So what does it take to be a hashtag be an astronaut? Astronaut requirements have changed with NASA goals and missions. They considered for an astronaut position for applicants who met their qualifications. Be a U.S. citizen, possess a master's degree in STEM field, including engineering, biological science, physical science, computer science, or mathematics for accreditation institution, have at least 2 years of related profession experience obtained from degree completion, or at least 1,000 hours pilots in command time on jet craft, be able to pass the NASA Prolonged Duration Flight Astronaut Physical. The master's degree requirement can also be met by 2 years, 36 semester hours, or 54 quarter hours worked toward doctorate program in related science, technology, engineering, or math field. A completed doctor of medicine or doctor with the osteopathic medicine degree completion or current enrollment that will result in completion by 2021 of a nationally recognized by test pilot program. Astronauts candidates must have skills in leadership, teamwork, and communication. NASA Astronaut Selection Board reviews the applicants, a review breaking 18,300 applications in 2016 and assesses each candidate qualifications. The board that invites a small group of the most highly qualified candidates for interview at NASA's Johns Space Center. In center of those interviewed, about half invited back to the second interviews from the group. NASA's new astronaut candidate are selected. They're reported for training at Johnson and spending 2 years learning basic astronaut skills like spacewalking, operating space station, flying 338 jet planes, and controlling a robotic arm. With NASA's plans for future explorations, new astronauts will be flying further into space before than ever for lunar missions that may be the first humans to be flying on Mars. So, if we think of it as a whole, our next generation astronauts will explore and conduct experiments where humans have been, The lunar South Pole. What does it take to be an astronaut? U.S. citizen, master's degrees, 2 years related professional science, past NASA astronaut physical. Okay, during this compared to being a president of the United States seems more reasonable. Uh, because of being an I don't want to change the subject, but this is last updated January 14, 2022. Heather Diesis. And next article, and then these are photographies taken from NASA. Astronaut requirements, full article. Okay, interesting. Frequently asked questions. Let's see. Frequently asked questions. General FAQs. Degrees in technology, psychology, and nursing, experience, social science, aviation. Okay, being in space, it seems like very extreme. So what I've done naturally, for the past couple years have been acting like I've been living in space and I've been going through orbit without any help from any contact that has been associated with anything. And it's very interesting because being alone in space is very physically, mentally meant for me. I feel like I would be okay to be in space, but the level of education seems very adequate to this field of job. One can die in space if not taking the proper measures. So I feel very interested in doing so. The online assessment of new application process, why was it ended? And flying experience necessary. Flying experience is not a requirement. The astronaut candidate program requires 2 years of professional related sciences. 1,000. Okay, blah blah blah. Honestly, this so it's either being an astronaut, being the president of the United States, or being a OBGYN doctor. One of those three, I would highly be bugged. But here on Earth, what I had to do, I had to become a lawyer, because from what my standpoint, a lawyer of advertising and video creation and being a digital creator is probably going to be my field of study. I do plan on having my own product line and jewelry line and general stuff. I do wish to have a store with my name on it, last name on it, have multiple locations in Mexico, CDF, be pumping out product for selling, and it just comes to the point where people don't feel interested in selling products because they think that there's no profit or reason to be selling the product in the place where the place, it's a location, and the location be a location, it should be a location. So that's what it takes. But yeah, it just really involves a lot of natural selection of human deficit. And I don't think there would be much internet usage in outer space. So I really look forward to having new brain exploration and stuff. So being an astronaut seems very cool. I would love to be an astronaut, but it seems a little bit intensive. In the sense that you have to wear a suit when you go outside, you know what I mean? It seems a little bit intensive, but physical requirements shuttle pilot, 1,000 hours in jets, class 1 flight physical, 20/70 eyesight, correctable to 20/20 vision, blood pressure 14 to 90, height between 64 to 76, class flight physical, 20/200 eyesight, correctable, 20/20 vision, blood pressure, height between 58.5 and 56.7. If I was still teaching myself how to choose a right career path, I would definitely be choosing an astronaut because it just seems the more natural way of being an astronaut. But there's 8,000 applicants in 1978. Now 18,300 applicants. A new record. It doesn't show the date, but I recently just slammed my laptop behind me to the bed. I know it didn't hurt it, but me doing those physical things will actually end up resulting in me actually hurting my laptop. So I need to be more careful with slamming my laptop behind me and just placing it just like this. I have no reason to be slamming it and making it go like this on the bed. I have no reason, literally absolutely no reason, but I just have to deal with my self behavioral things. It just seems a little bit out of control. But yes, I am taking course. So, fun fact 43,336. But yeah, how to become an astronaut. Finally, you must be 30 to 55 years old. Seems adequate. Okay. Okay, I think that's it. Enjoy.